Hey everybody, welcome to week 10 of RoccoBot Predicts. I actually took it off the books for week 9, but some people asked for it to come back, so I'm bringing it back. What RoccoBot is, it's a computer program that I wrote to help me make picks and help me make picks against the spread. So what I'm going to do in this video, if you're in a survivor pool or if you're in a confidence pool, I'm going to give you the winners, statistical, projected winners for RoccoBot. If you're a bettor and you like to bet against the spread, I'm also going to, at the end of the video, give you the against the spread picks, and I'll explain both as I get there. Before we get rolling here, as I always say, please, for 2 seconds of your time, 2 clicks, a like and a subscribe. Right now, we have some interactive features locked for us. They only become unlocked once we become a YouTube partner. We need your help for that. It's a small deal for you, huge deal for us. Believe it or not, those subscribes are a big deal for us. So if you subscribe, that really helps us out. But before we get into the picks, I just want to show everybody the performance. These are against the spread. Lifetime, the top 5 bets, week-to-week lifetime for the NFL for RoccoBot, 62%, hovering around there. 2019, how's it doing against all games against the spread? Only 53 and 52, although that's above 500 when you consider the holdback, basically the sportsbook fee or the VIG. That would be not profitable. You need to be at least, I think, 52.5% to be profitable. 2019 locks, the way RoccoBot works, you can find more details below, but it has 8 engines running. If one team comes back and all engines as a winner, basically there's a consensus, everybody's on board with that pick or every single engine, that would be considered a lock. Those are 37 and 26 for 58.7% this week. And then my top 5 bets, or RoccoBot's top 5 picks week to week, are 24 and 16 for 60%. So that's a great percentage. If you're not familiar with betting, 60% might not look great. It is great. You can research. Just trust me there. Okay, so for confidence pool, just winners, survivor picks, here are the picks against the spread. These are consensus scores, okay? So it's a composite of everything, all the different engines running together. But you have the Chargers by 2. You have Arizona and Tampa Bay by 3 in this game. New Orleans by 13. Baltimore by, 23. Buffalo by 9. You have Green Bay by 4. You have Detroit over Chicago by 3. If you look onto the next screen here, you have Kansas City by 10. It's assuming Patrick Mahomes is playing. The Giants by 6. You have the Colts by 15. You have the Rams by 4. You have Dallas by 7. And you have San Francisco by 14. Now, I don't personally agree with all of these. I think that San Francisco game, although I think San Francisco will win, I think it'll be very close and down to the wire. I think that Dallas-Minnesota game will be a little bit closer. The Indianapolis game, they're banged up offensively. I think that's going to be a closer game. I know Miami's lost a couple of players there too. Kansas City, I don't know if they win by 10, but I do like the value, especially against the spread. Let's see. I think Baltimore, New Orleans both win big. Arizona, I think, is a little bit closer. So anyway, there's some variance here. I don't always agree with it. Like I said, RoccoBot is just a statistical engine. I don't always agree with it, so don't take it for gospel. I certainly do not. For the against the spread picks, and if you're unfamiliar, if you're new to the idea of against the spread, let me just quickly run through. So you have the away team on the left column. You have the spread, that's minus 10. So basically whatever score Baltimore gets at the end of the game, you subtract 10 because they're minus 10. You see Buffalo in the line below is plus 2.5. Whatever Buffalo ends up with, you add 2.5. So basically Baltimore is spotting Cincinnati a 10-point lead against the spread. Buffalo is getting 2.5. So Cleveland is spotting Buffalo a 2.5-point lead. That's how you bet against the spread. And that's where these percentages that you saw at the top of the video, that's what we measure by, the spread, right? So these are ranked in terms of margin of victory against the spread. So you can see in the far right column there, that is the confidence RoccoBot puts on this game. So its favorite bet of the week is Baltimore minus 10 over Cincinnati. I agree. I like that bet. Buffalo plus 2.5 over Cleveland. I agree. I like that bet. San Francisco minus 5.5, so Seattle's getting 5.5 points, so San Francisco is the favorite. I don't like that bet. I would actually take Seattle here personally. So again, I don't always agree with it, so if you're really not feeling it, you're not vibing it, don't make the bets. And obviously, everybody out there, if you have a gambling problem, for crying out loud, don't bet anything you can't afford to bet. Ever. Don't do it. If you do, it's not my fault. It's not RoccoBot's fault, so don't blame me. Detroit plus 2.5. Over Chicago, I like that. Miami plus 10, losing to Indianapolis, I do not like that. I think Miami will cover personally. The Giants minus 2.5 over the Jets, I do like that game. Moving forward for the rest of the matchups, Kansas City minus 6, I do like that matchup. Minnesota +3, still losing to Dallas. I don't really know. I kind of take that one off my books. I think it's too close. Carolina +7 over Green Bay. I do like Carolina's value there. Arizona to cover the spread. You can see, though, in the margin here, once you get to Arizona, the confidence gets basically 1 point less than a point. We're at Atlanta and New Orleans after that 13-point spread, and the Rams against Pittsburgh. You're basically looking like at a tenth of a point. I don't love that. So there you go. That takes me through a full week of picks. That's RoccoBot's picks. We track these. Historically, I have historical tracking as well. I have a book about gambling and making your rules. Like I said, I have a number of rules. For example, I never bet against Bill Belichick off a bye week. I will be betting on Belichick. I don't even know what the line is, but I will be betting on the New England Patriots to cover. He's great off a loss. He's great off a bye week. He's going to cover. I don't care if the line's 20, honestly. I'm going to take New England off a bye week. Same thing with Andy Reid. I like Andy Reid off a bye week. I like teams off bye weeks with good coaching staffs. I never bet against Belichick ever. If he's an underdog, I always bet on Bill. So there's a lot of different rules that I have in place. My book, I think it's called How to Bet on Sports and Win. It's a small book. I think it's like 20 or 30 pages. Quick read, but it helps you develop your strategy as well. And then also I factor in some of these analytics too. I don't take these for gospel. You shouldn't either. But, it's fun to track these as a case study anyway. So that takes me, again, through this episode of RoccoBot Predicts. Check us out on another episode, and we'll see you soon. Thanks, everyone.